According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine and the state opposes your application. All right, so I want to talk to you about your criminal history because that is concerning. I always tell people the criminal history is sort of like a credit report, but it's a credit report related to whether or not I should give you probation. You understand? You understand? Do not come out and do this again because you don't know who your attorney is going to be. You don't know who the prosecutor is going to be or who the judge is going to be. And you will be a habitual and your minimum will be 25 years in prison. You understand? The court is calling 2021 CR 9284, State of Texas versus Elizabeth Yepez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant.
Are you Ms. Yepez? All right, you entered a plea on May 9th to count 2. You entered a plea of no contest. The state waived the enhancement and count 1 without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine and the state opposes your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Judge, not yet, but I'm working on it.
Judge, I've reviewed the PSI. It's pretty straightforward. The state was opposed based upon, I think, the prior criminal history and the amount of drugs.
All right, so are both parties ready to proceed, state?
I'm ready.
Defense? All right, state, you are opposed.
Yes, Judge, we are.
Do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge.
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, no, I'm just arguing on behalf of my client.
All right, the court will hear argument, state.
Judge, that's correct what defense counsel said. Our opposition is based mainly on this defendant's criminal history. Looking at the PSI, it looks like she's been given a chance at probation at least twice before. It looks like in 2005, she was granted probation for 10 years on a felon in possession. And she ended up being revoked. And actually in 1993, she was given deferred and then placed on probation and got revoked. So that's twice that she's been given a chance. It looks like we played the offense down just to give her a little bit of benefit for accepting responsibility for her actions. But that's why we don't believe probation would be appropriate in this case. We're asking for prison sentence.
All right, defense.
Judge, we understand fully why the state made the recommendation they did. Ms. Yepez asked me to speak on her behalf because I think she's kind of nervous speaking in public. Since her release on this case, Ms. Yepez, I think, has made significant strides in turning her life around. She finally got a job at Mood Solutions. She's been made a supervisor. She makes $15 an hour. I think this is probably the best job and the best situation she's found herself in. I guess for a number of years, I think she's really got her situation solidified, and I think she would benefit from the opportunity for probation with whatever terms of what was appropriate. That's obviously the most important thing. And we'd like the court to consider that and consider one, I think, remorse of finding herself in the same situation again. I think the TAP talks about issues that have been on again, off again with drugs in her life. You would ask the court, if the court does see fit to give her probation, to allow her to do intensive outpatient. She's very concerned about keeping this job that she was finally able to get. I think it's very difficult for people with Elizabeth's criminal history to find jobs in the workforce. And I think this company is willing to work with her. And I think it's put her in a situation where she can be a successful part of society. So that's the court to grant that.
All right, so the court has a question because it says on here, guilt minimized.
I think they were talking about on her, when I looked at that, when I read that, I think they were on the TAP evaluation, they were talking about her drug usage.
Okay. All right, Ms. Yepez, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Did you commit this offense? All right, so I want to talk to you about your criminal history because that is concerning. I always tell people the criminal history is sort of like a credit report, but it's a credit report related to whether or not I should give you probation. You understand? So your misdemeanor cases, this theft, you were sentenced to 32 days in jail. And I understand how that happens. People just want to get their judgment satisfied and be done. The same thing with hindering apprehension. Then we have the assault, bodily injury, family household, 90 days, theft, 44 days, possession case, 20 days, another possession case, 20 days, then failure to ID, 1 year. So this is what's concerning to me. You pick up a felony in 1992 and you were granted deferred adjudication and you didn't complete it. Why didn't you complete it?
It's very young. My husband was very abusive and I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't go to class.
All right. November 2005, felon in possession of a firearm.
That was at my house when they came looking for my son. My house, it's my husband's house. I was charged with that.
All right. Then we have December, the drugs, 4 to 200 grams.
But he was
You don't remember, just tell me.
All right. So then we have 2007. You were sentenced to prison and then you had a parole violation. It appears that you're not learning anything from your prison. Then we have 2014. So 2014, prison, paroled, felon in possession. I'm assuming these cases were ran concurrently. And now we're here. So I don't understand. I don't know if there's anything that I can do for you because you have not learned anything.
this last time I've learned a lot. I haven't worked in my life like that. I've worked now. I've been working for almost 3 years now. I was given a chance to get a position as a supervisor's responsibilities that I have to do. Something I haven't done in many years. So it's yes. I feel like I've worked for it and I want to continue to keep it. If I lose it all, then I feel like that's my age and that with my history, my background, which is not ever going to change. I won't be able to, I won't make it like that.
Right. And here's, I'm sympathetic to what you're telling me. I'm sympathetic to you getting your life in order, maybe finally. But here's the problem. The amount of drugs was a lot. And your history is awful. All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find her guilty as previously stated. I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right, and we're off the record. Ms. Yepez, I actually gave you less than what you bargained for because I did consider the fact that you did come in with employment. You understand? Do not come out and do this again because you don't know who your attorney is going to be. You don't know who the prosecutor is going to be or who the judge is going to be. And you will be a habitual and your minimum will be 25 years in prison. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Jose Munoz.
That's my case, Judge.
All right. So you want to change, could we go on the, oh, that's okay. That's fine. You want to change what you told the court earlier about your UA and what it's going to be?
Well, I thought it's been 3 days, so I did think.
No. See, here, you're playing games with me because I asked you about your usage and you made it appear as though you hadn't used in forever, which I already knew.
Oh, no, I have relapses. I do have
Nope.
relapses.
See, you're doing semantics with me and I don't like when people do semantics because here's the thing. I am trying to give you conditions that you will be successful at. Now, let me just tell you what you told me because my mind is a steel trap. You made it appear as though you hadn't used meth for a while. What you told me was, oh, yes, of course I've had relapses. But you didn't tell the court that you had relapses 3 days ago. And you knew that you more likely than not were going to test positive for meth and all of the things else that you tested positive for.
And I
But let me
questioned
just
whether I
check.
should come back up and tell you.
No, but you didn't. And I can tell you what you did because I know what people do. You were praying all your way for that UA, and you were praying when you requested a bottle of water, praying that it was going to be negative. And now it wasn't. And so now you know what's going to end up happening. Is that person here, Mr. James Jones? Mr. James Jones, you're going to have to find someplace else to live. You cannot live with her. There's going to be a no contact order. And you know why? You can have a seat, Mr. Jones. You know why there's going to be a no contact order? There's going to be a no contact order because I know for a fact that even if you don't intend to get a haircut, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. And if you are using, you know what that means? That means that he's using. And that means that he is not a person who should be in your life, that he is holding you back. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not going to be having any contact with him.
Can I take a UA? Because I've been clean since 2011.
So there's to be no contact with James Jones, and he had better find a new place to stay. And the fact that he's staying with you and is not trying to get you help for your drug use, that's another reason why he shouldn't be in your life.
He has. Though.
He's not
Just
good
got
for
out
you.
of rehab.
He's not good. I'm sorry, what?
Just got out of rehab.
See, that's the problem. You should not be hanging around with people who just got out of rehab because both of you all are struggling. And the fact that you testing positive for drugs, and I guarantee you, he can say all he wants. I'll do a UA now.
No, he really
No.
is clean.
No. You're not to live with him. You're not to have contact with him. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I find out that you are living with him or having contact with him, that's going to be a violation of your probation. And you're going to end up going to the state jail facility. And guess what? If you go to the state jail facility, he's not going to be there with you because it's not co-ed. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's to be no contact with James Jones. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month, and I'm going to want that random so we can see if she is allowing him to live there. And I'm going to want a TAP evaluation and follow the recommendations of TAP. If TAP wants inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment to begin with, intensive outpatient treatment. And instead of regular UAs, I'm going to want the UA hotline. And I'm going to want a referral to felony drug court. And let me explain something to you. In this court, honesty is really the best policy because that tells me whether or not you are in a specific phase of your sobriety. The fact that you're not being honest tells me you're deep in the throes of your addiction. And how old are you?
47, almost 47.
All right. So you're getting to the point in your life where you're going to have more of your life behind you than in front of you. But guess what? You are walking on the edge of a knife with that statement I just made. You know why? Because you're throwing into your life the fact that you have a drug addiction and you're using drugs and you never know what you're going to get. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Jones is out of your life. And I know you love him. You probably think this is the end of the world, but guess what? This is not Romeo and Juliet. You're not a teenager. He hasn't been in your life as long as you've been alive. So you need to sell away from him. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
If you violate this, you're going to be coming over here answering for this case in a blue uniform. And you know why it's going to be blue? Because you're going to be in custody.
Yes, ma'am. I want this pension.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey,